You doing okay in there, boy?
What'd you say? Dad, no. Huh?
Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking mouth!
Hey, come on. Dad, just.
Oh, you
Get away from the window.
What's up? I'm Ashley, and we're going to be breaking down from Season 3, Episode 9. Let's get into it. Boyd and Ellis are looking for Fatima in the woods. When Boyd tells him she'll be okay because she has the talisman, and they'll start looking for her again in the morning. But Ellis says, "No, I won't leave her out here alone." Boyd said, "Well, just what are you going to do? Huh? What you going to do?" Then his Parkinson's starts to act up. Arm shaking, leg gave out. He can't even walk no more. Ellis had to help his daddy out the woods. Can't keep looking for her now, huh? Fatima is still held hostage. She tells Elgin, "Please let me go." He tells her, "You're not a prisoner here." "Then what do you call it, Elgin?" "Huh? Just what do you call it?" So he said, "This is for your own good. I'm trying to protect you." Fatima lets him know she saw that thing he's been talking to. What she's been telling you is not true. This thing inside me is not good, and it won't do good things. Just look at what happened to Tilly. He told her that only happened because the baby was scared. You wouldn't eat. The baby was hungry. Then she tries to leave again, but she doesn't put in any effort because if it was me, I'm hitting Elgin in his throat. I'm getting out of there. But she lets him sit her back down on the bed, and he tells her, "You need to eat so the baby can be stronger, and when you do that, we'll all be able to go home." He said the baby already helped him once. In the night he found out she was pregnant is when he was able to remember his dream, and that helped Boyd save the town. He's like, "Here, drink my blood, Fatima." She's like, "No, no." She knows she been fiending for it, acting like she don't want it. Then she finally takes a few sips, and she know it's tasting good to her. Once she got a little taste, she wasn't able to stop. Started gobbling it up like a turkey. Victor is having a meltdown in the church. He's feeling like his mother dying is his fault since he told her about the tree. And when Tabitha touches his arm trying to calm him down, she gets this flashback, but we don't get to see what it is yet, but it shook her. Sarah asked her, "What happened when you touched him?" Tabitha said, I don't know. Girl, yeah, you do. Then that's when Kitty comes in and tells Tabitha she needs to get down to the clinic because something happened to Julie in the woods. While Julie is getting examined by Christy, Marielle walks in with a glass of water and tells Julie to drink it. "No. What's in that water? You better not." "I don't trust her." "What's wrong with her?" "You drink it first." Julie explains to Christy what happened. She tells her she went to the ruins, and when she walked inside, she blacked out. Then Marielle asks her, "You don't remember anything else?" "Should she be remembering something else, Marielle? Is it something you're not telling somebody?" I've been side-eyeing her, because why does it seem like nothing's wrong with her, but something's wrong with Julie and Randall? Julie just said she had a weird dream, but she over there lying. Jim asked Julie, "What were you doing out in the woods anyway?" She tells him she was out there with Randall. He said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Randall? What you doing out there with Randall?" Then Tabitha comes walking in all late, talking about, "Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay?" When Randall tries to look at his scar in the mirror, he starts hearing cicadas again, and the sound doesn't stop until Jim knocks on the door. Jim decides to be a father again for the first time since around season 1. He says, "What were you doing out in the woods with my daughter?" Randall said, "What she tell you we was doing? Don't you come up in here with this. What's wrong with you?" Jim told him she won't talk about what happens with her, you, or Marielle. But I know it's something I can't understand, but you will. Randall's like, "I was just trying to teach her how to drive. We stole the van from Colony House. I freaked out about something and we ended up in the woods." Jim wants to talk about the ruins, but Randall says, "Look, man, I don't want to be rude, but I have my own stuff going on here. You want me to explain what happened to us? I can't. I can't. I don't know what happened. And I don't know nothing about those ruins either. I told her not to go back out there, but she don't listen." He said it just felt wrong being there. Jim said, "How?" Randall said, "It just did, Jim. That's all I got. Are we done?" Before Jim leaves, Randall tells him to teach his daughter how to drive. It's not like it's anything else to do. We're all gonna die here anyway. Jim tells him, "I don't accept that," which only means Jim's about to die. Ellis and Boyd gets to the station. Ellis thinks he should go to the clinic, but Boyd tells him he's okay. It's getting dark, and I gotta ring that bell. These grown people need to know they need to get in the house. But Ellis is still insisting that he sits down. Boyd's like, "I don't need to sit down. I already know what's wrong with me." Then he prepares to tell Ellis what's wrong with him. Then we see Donna walking around Colony House, reminiscing. Then she has a flashback of Fatima's 1 year anniversary being in the town, before she started to change and got pregnant with that demon baby. And here is another reason why I think Jim is about to die. He admits to Tabitha he hasn't been doing a good job, and that he knows she's been trying to make sense of this place and what happened. So if there's even a chance this could get us home, I'm all in. He says he won't second guess anymore and no more pushback. So Tabitha's testing it out, and she tells him there's something Julie's not telling them. I think they're warming us up to Jim's death. A lot of us don't like Jim no more, and they're trying to make us feel sorry for him, have a little soft spot. All of a sudden, he wants to be a good father now and listen to his wife. I know he just had a talk with Henry, but okay. That don't even matter now. We about to be saying R.I.P. Boyd tells Ellis about his Parkinson's and that Christy and Kenny know. Ellis was about to get mad. He had to readjust himself in that seat. Boyd noticed, so he hurried up and told him, the only reason why I didn't tell you is because I didn't want you to worry. But he does let Ellis know that it's getting worse because now it's affecting his leg. Boyd also tells him that the monsters made him watch Tin Chin die and told him that they wanted to break him. So he's thinking this thing that's happening with Fatima and the baby is his fault, and it's their way of trying to break Boyd. Ellis tells him, you don't know that. Boyd's like, well, what else could it be? Tilly is dead, we don't know where Fatima is, and I'm sitting here like a gimp. Then one of the monsters knocks on the window and says, you doing okay in there, Boyd? And this sets Boyd off. He said, huh? What you say? Huh? What you say? Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Ellis had to pull him away from the window. He said, get away from the window. Sarah finally finishes putting back together the snowman Kenny broke. And just as she does, she starts to hear the voices in her head again. She said, leave me alone, leave me alone. But they're not going to leave her alone. Elgin makes his way back to the cellar. And as he does, Fatima is in the room trying to pull a piece of metal from the bed so she can hit Elgin with it. And after drinking the blood, we see her stomach has gotten bigger. Elgin said, wow, look at you. I told you when you started to eat, things would go faster. Here, you should put this on. You won't be able to fit in that soon. I was scared to go inside your room, so I went to the main storage. Don't he know he sound crazy? He crazy. And so since Fatima was able to get that piece of metal from the bed, she asked him, can you help me up? He's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna help you up. And when Elgin helps her up, she fumbles hard. She doesn't try to cut his face or his neck. Instead, she cuts his hand. What a fool! She deserves to get kidnapped. She tries to run out the door, but of course he catches her. It's the next morning, and Ellis wants to continue to look for Fatima, but Boyd tells him he can't go out there blind. Ellis says, why not? Donna's about to tell everyone what Fatima did. No one's going to want to help. Then Sarah walks in and says, is Fatima okay? She's missing, isn't she? Ellis goes, what do you know about that? Huh? What you know about that? Walking up on her, Boyd had to push him back. You better sit down. She ends up telling them she heard the voices for the first time since the ruins. They're telling her that Fatima didn't leave on her own and that something took her. They want you to know that she's close. She's afraid, and they were laughing because they know you won't find her in time. They want you to know you can't save her. Then at Colony House, Victor is still emotional. He's still blaming himself for his mother's death. So he decides to throw things out the window. And that's how you get beat up, because don't you see me standing down here? You just gonna throw things on top of my head? My head? And before he could even throw that sled out the window, what's that, a sled? I would have already been up them stairs in his room, throwing him out the window. As he's throwing all these things out the window, he's saying he saved all this because he thought it would help, but all it does is hurt. He said, I want all of it gone. Then here comes Acosta running up the stairs. He said, get out my way. He goes downstairs to the kitchen to get the axe. So now everybody's scared. He lets them all know I'm not going to hurt anyone. So Kenny says, okay, put it down. Victor says, no, I need it. Acosta has her hand on her gun. And I said, I know you don't got your hand on your gun for Victor. Kenny tells him he's scaring everyone. Victor said, good. They're not scared enough. Then he starts slapping his face again, like he always does when he's mad at himself. And he's saying, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. He said, just let me go. Acosta said, tell us what you're going to do with the axe. And Victor says, I'm going to go cut down a tree. Boxa has now taken over the diner. She tells the Matthews family that Kenny was very supportive and that she thinks he had a hard time seeing this place empty. Donna is reminiscing again, but this time about her sister. until Boyd walks in. She tells him she won't say anything about what Fatima did. She doesn't think people would be able to take it, not even herself. Then Boyd tells her that Fatima is missing. She's not in the shed he and Ellis put her in. Then he tells her about the voices Sarah heard and what they told her. Donna said, F this place. Ring the bell, we'll call a meeting. We get back to the Matthews family at the diner when Ethan says, I miss 10 cents pancakes. Then he gets up and says, I'm going to the bathroom. Julie says Ethan thinks what happened to her is his fault because she asked for his advice. She says the whole thing seemed like one of the stories he used to tell. I remember Ethan used to tell a story about the Criminal and people going on quests. Then we see Boyd and Donna gathering everyone around. Donna walks in the diner and says, we need everyone to come outside for a minute. Come on, let's go. Come on. I'm trying to eat. Once they get everyone outside, Donna starts it off and says, I know everyone is scared about Tilly, but we don't have any answers yet. Then Boyd goes in with the Fatima is missing. Everyone's like, what? Oh my God, no, not Fatima. Fatima's missing. What? Then Elgin comes walking up, but that's what the killer always does. They always show up as something they started, as something they caused. Even your funeral, they tell everyone they want to start a search party and to break off into teams of 2. Tabitha and Julie pair off, then Jim and Ethan. Boyd tells Ellis it's best if they separate, and that maybe they'll be able to find Fatima faster that way. Boyd then asks Kenny to be his partner. Then Elgin goes over to Ellis and says, You need a partner? A psychopath. But Donna got stuck with Acosta. We get back to Fatima, and for some reason, she's taking off her shoes. And I don't even know why she put some on anyway, because where's she going? She can't go nowhere. She don't even put in enough effort to try to get out of there. But while she's taking off her shoes, her stomach starts hurting again, and she falls down to the ground. And when she does, she ends up finding this secret door, covered in dirt, so she starts to try to uncover this door. Donna and Acosta are out there looking for Fatima, when Acosta says, I don't even know what we're doing out here. Are you stupid? Weren't you just at the meeting? Don't you know you out there looking for Fatima? Dummy. Then she brings up Boyd about how something told them that she was out here. She's like, how y'all know that? She lets her know it was Sarah, but Acosta just keeps rambling on. She wants to know why the magical voice didn't tell Sarah where Fatima is or who killed Tilly. She's like, you know something and you're not telling me. Donna had to shut her up, put her in her place real quick. She said, I don't have time for a goddamn tutorial. We need to find Fatima because of what she means to the people in this town and to me. If you want to prove to me you're a good cop, then help me. Help me! Boyd tells Kenny he knows they're not going to have the same relationship they once did, and tells him that his Parkinson's is getting worse, and that this time his leg was giving out on him. So he needs to know that when he's gone or if he's too feeble, that Kenny would step up and take care of this place. It has to be you wearing this badge, and not some hothead like Acosta, or anyone else who comes through here. It has to be you. I need to know my family will be in good hands. Kenny tells him, I'm not taking your badge. But if you're still looking for a deputy, I'll take that one back. And this was my favorite part of the episode. Jade is now making his own bottle tree. And that's when Christopher and Jasper pops up on him. Jade's like, really? Find something else because this isn't doing it for me anymore. And that's when Jasper screams and Jade goes falling down the ladder. Then there goes Henry creeping up saying, who are you talking to? Or better yet, who did you think you were talking to? Jade tells him, what do you want? I'm busy. Then there goes Henry again. My wife made one of these in the yard. Jade said, so you keep telling me. Henry tells him everyone is out looking for Fatima and if he wanted to come with him so they can talk about Victor. I find it odd. Henry called Fatima the sheriff's daughter-in-law, as if he doesn't know her name. What's up with that? Then there's Victor trying to cut down the faraway tree. The boy in white pops up and says, stop! You can't do that! Victor says it's a bad tree that does bad things, but the boy in white says the tree is important. Victor says, why won't you help us? And the boy in white says, I tried with Victor. I think you need to learn for yourselves. It's the only way you'll understand. And as soon as I was about to say, the boy in white got big. Victor tells him, you look different now. The boy in white says, so do you. He says, everything is changing now. Victor said, tell me what to do. Please tell me what to do and I'll do it. The boy in white said, don't cut down that tree. And he walked away. Victor said, come back, where you going? Elgin tells Ellis a story about how his friend went missing when they were little, but it turned out they were all scared for nothing because he was just at the playground. Ellis said, is this what you think this is? We're all scared for nothing? No offense, but we're not looking for no kid on a playground. I already lost my mom. And I said, oh no, don't give him any more information. Jim and Ethan go looking for Fatima in their RV. They get inside and Ethan says, I don't think she's in here. Jim starts talking about how he always blamed himself for the accident because he never saw the other car coming. He thought he was going to lose Ethan just like they lost Thomas. Ethan tells him, it's not your fault. You were scared. You were just doing the best you could. Then Jim says, kind of like when you told Julie to go into the ruins. You were doing the best he could. Then he starts trying to give him a pep talk, letting him know that this place wants you to be scared and blame ourselves. And you have to remember you're doing your best even when bad things happen. Which makes me believe even more Jim's about to die. Then we hear Thomas on the radio. He's saying, Dad, don't leave me, Dad. Ethan says, you're right. It's not him. But now I wonder, what does the number 16 mean? Tabitha and Julie go looking for Fatima in the truck Victor sometimes stays in. And that's when Julie tells her mom she doesn't think she was dreaming when she went to the ruins, but that it was almost like she went somewhere. She tells her she was in this weird chamber and herself, Randall, and Mario was there. And they were all screaming, and that there was a man chained to the wall. She tells her she ended up in these tunnels where she heard her and Victor speaking. When she tried to find her, she just kept getting further away. Then she heard those bald-headed kids screaming on Cooey. Then one of the bald-headed kids pops up and she wants Julie and Tabitha to follow her. Henry is telling Jade he feels like he's starting over with a whole new person when it comes to Victor. Jade said, yeah, because you are. Henry goes on to tell Jade he reminds him of Victor because he's over there trying to make a block of wood tell a story and you're climbing up a ladder screaming at people who aren't there. Jade tells him you're trying to figure out how to save Victor, but you can't because he's not broken. He's the product of what this place made him. Victor's been surviving here for decades. He's been shaped by this place. He's Tarzan, growing up in the jungle. And you're the guy showing up, making him feel like an a-hole because he doesn't know how to use a fork. Elgin is taking Ellis everywhere but the cellar. He's keeping him far away from there. He takes him to the Brundles. Elgin tells him how much Fatima has helped him since he got there, and tells him that he's not going to lose Fatima. Then he tells him the story about the time he had a dream when he first got here on the bus, and how he feels like someone was trying to talk to him. Elgin says, what if all this is happening for a reason, and Fatima is out there right now doing something that could help all of us? He tells him he thinks everything's going to be okay, and he doesn't want him to be afraid. Ellis should be thinking that's sketchy, but I know he's not thinking that far. Fatima finally cleared all the dirt away from the door, and as she's trying to lift it up, the baby starts acting up again, and that's when Kimono Lady pops up. Then we get this overlap where the bald-headed kid still wants Tabitha and Julie to follow her. Then we go back to Kimono Lady and Fatima. Kimono Lady is telling Fatima to be quiet, and she makes Fatima lay on the bed as she's covering her mouth. Is the baby making Fatima not able to fight back or what? Because this is ridiculous. The bald-headed kid leads Tabitha and Julie to the cellar, and the door is wide open. I said, who left the door open? Who already in there? But as Tabitha is going inside, she has another vision. I'm thinking Kimono Lady is covering Fatima's mouth because she knows Tabitha and Julie are outside. But yeah, it could be that too. But no, it's because Victor is inside of the cellar too, standing there all creepy. That would have made me run out. He tells Tabitha this is where it all happened. This is where she left us. And he tells her he's the reason she died. When Tabitha hugs him and tells him it's not his fault and that he was just a little boy, she gets another flashback, and this time we get to see what it is. We see her seeing Victor's mom hug him and Eloise in that same spot the night she left them. She pulls away from Victor and runs out the cellar, saying that's impossible. Then we see the night Miranda died, when she was trying to make her way to the faraway tree. But then Smiley pops up, and he runs and attacks Miranda. And this is how we find out the monsters can run. I just wonder when they're going to start running again. So this all just has to mean that Tabitha is reincarnated, and she used to be Miranda, which has to mean other people in that town is reincarnated. And I think one is obviously Jade. I think Jade could have been Christopher. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.